Well, hey everyone, I'm Nika Chitrawati, and allow me to present about aids and motivation support to succeed second language learners. And as a teacher, have you ever gained an investigation to find out how our students react with our lesson? Some of them may react like this. Oh, I feel excited. I'm really happy to have the lesson with you. That sounds fantastic, right? And maybe some of them could react like this. Oh, I'm bored. I feel sleepy during the classroom. And for me, that's a tragedy. And I'm wondering how these kinds of reaction affect the language learning achievement. Well, the ideal answer is that those who react energetic and excited during the classroom will gain successful at the end of the learning process. And for those who feel bored and also sleepy during the classroom will gain failure at the end of the learning. And why this kind of thing could happen? There are some factors that contribute to the success of learners in learning the language. But in these nice occasions, I would like to only talk about two of them, age and also the motivations. Let's talk the first factor is about the age. Age deals with how old the learner is. That's why UP 2003 divide the learners into two kinds of learners, the young learners and also the adult learners. And moreover, Isabel and Cueto Cabello 2008 also state that different learners acquiring different learning style, and both of them, Youth 2003 and also Isabel Cueto and Cabello 2008, agreed that different learners acquire different learning style that contribute to the statement in which young learners is always better in performing any task of the learning process, that young learners is usually faster in mastering the vocabularies, is better in terms of fluency, and also is better in pronouncing some words in the second language they learned. This kind of situation and considering this situation that the young learners is more energetic than the adult learners, allied to the statement that young learners gain more successful than the adult learners. But for me, there also is some exception in which adult learner can survive with this kind of activity. The statement deals with how the brain develop the language acquisition, in which it is stated that during the first 5 years of life, learners' brains is developed in such a beautiful way, in which the language acquisition devices are developed very quickly to absorb any kinds of language that the environment gave it. In this situation, young learners' brains develop quickly to learn the target language. That's why, again, a young learner can be more successful than adult learner in acquiring the language. And what about this situation? You see, they are young learners, but they sleep during the classroom. Why would it happen? As Sutsa Samantha 2003 and also Hussein Ma'arif and the Cruz 2001 state that motivation is the most influencing factor that contribute to the successful of learners in learning the language. Sutsa Samantha 2003 divine that motivations, both intrinsic motivation and also extrinsic motivation, uh, play an important role in deal with the learners successful in mastering the target language. Both Sutsa Samantha and Hussein Ma'aruf the Cruz stated that the intrinsic motivations include some aspect um, that influence the motivations. But I would like to conclude uh, that the intrinsic motivation consists of attitude, aptitude, self-confidence, and also in the interest to pursue the goals of learning. Attitude deals with the desires of being a good learner. Being a good learner means that the learners show the eagerness to be active in fulfilling any of the language assignment. That the good learners having a high desire to practice communicating with the language. And this kind of attitude, in fact, the way they learn the language and also the activity that will lead them uh, to the state of being master to the target language. The second one is aptitude. Aptitude in this case is the natural talent, deals with language a talent that one possesses that may be differ with another. The one who has the language aptitude will react better than the one who doesn't have this kind of aptitude. The third one is the self-confidence. Self-confidence deals with the high self-beliefs, the strong self-beliefs. And learner with high self-confidence will perform the task in acquiring the language better than those with low self-confidence. And the last one is inner interest to pursue the goals. It's something related with the motivation to learn the language in deals with the future goals. For example, they have a strong interest to learn the language because they want to study abroad or they want to have a job abroad, for example. These kinds of interest will affect how the student feel motivated in learning the language. And the extrinsic motivation deal with teacher motivation, opportunity, parent support, or environmental exposure. It's stated by Liu 2003, which dominated his statement with the teacher role during the lesson to increase the student motivations in learning the language. Teacher way how to motivate the student, teacher stimulation, teacher strategic in carrying the lesson is will automatically raise the student motivations to learn the language. They will feel happy to learn the language because of the material is attractive, because the learning media is easy to be understood. And again, teacher role play uh, affect the student motivations in learning the language, and then the opportunity that exposure by the environment to use the language or to communicate with the target language. Again, the teacher roles and also the culture in the society must lead the student to have opportunity to speak up, to use the language, to communicate with the language. And in the environmental exposure, which it also includes the parent support, in which parent help and parent motivation, parents encouragement will makes the learner feels like, oh, I'm not alone. I have someone that will assist me to accomplish any learning task, to face any obstacles that may come during the learning process, and that will make me more successful. And then the environmental exposure such as friend support and also sibling support and other relative support also influence how the learner feels motivated or not during to accomplish the learning target. Well, this brings my presentation to an end. To conclude, that as Cheshire Donkey 2005 stated that integrative motivated students would sustain their interest in learning and become more successful than others. It means that the integrative motivation between the inner factors and also the external factor uh, will give learners such kind of enjoyment that make them feel like happy and strive to learn the language. Having this kind of atmosphere will lead them to gain successful in the language learning, so the learning goals is achieved by having an enjoyment atmosphere in learning. Moreover, Gardner 1985 stated that when the desire to achieve the goal and the favorable attitude toward the goals are linked with the effort and the drive, then we have a motivative organism. That's why it is important to parents and also teachers to underline of the factors that contributing to the student eagerness to learn. They have to set together both the teachers and also the parents to assist the student, to give a positive atmosphere in order to make them feel enjoy, feel fun and happy to learn. By doing so, the learning goals will achieve and they will become successful to accomplish or to master the language acquisitions. And that was the end of my presentations. Thank you for watching and a goodbye.